Hey everyone, I'm finally doing my get ready with me. It's gonna be a speed lightning get ready with me because I have places to be and I'm not even packed yet. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer potion. Oh my god, guys, my life the last couple of weeks has been a total whirlwind, and I just realized I don't even have a mirror right now. I'm just using my viewfinder. I will grab a mirror once I need one. So quick little life update. From the time that I'm filming this, I only have 3 weeks at my actual workplace left before I leave in preparation to go to college, which is not that exciting. Truly, I'm just not excited just because there's some loan stuff that still needs to be done, like the parent loan and all of that, and my parents are like, wait until we have the keys to our house until it's official, thinking that the student loan might affect it. They've officially closed out on the house yesterday. They finally got the keys, so that it's a done deal now. That's what we were waiting for. So after they have done with the hectic move-in, I'll be like, yo, can I accept this $10,000 loan? So yeah, that's always fun. Student loans are
always fun, so much fun.
Basically, I want to do a little money diary series. I've talked about it before, but just so you guys know, I'm trying to take out the least amount of loans. And basically after the financial aid that's considered free money, I had to take out about $15,000 worth of loans, which is ridiculous. So $10,000 my parents have to take out. I had to take out $5,000. I guess, I don't know. I just feel like they don't give the students that much of loans because they don't have that good of a credit score because they're still rather young. Which is fine, or which is fair, I guess, and that's why they have the parents. But my parents were just at first they were like, no, we don't want to take it out, and I'm just
whoa, shit.
And then they're just they thought about it, let it process, and it's let's revisit this after the loan situation, and then yada yada. They were kind of on board. But anyways, work life has also been not great. I need to really hurry up and pick a palette to use, but actually I'm just gonna use what's left of my Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette, just because that's what's in front of me, and it's kind of the colors I want to do. Oh, I don't have any jewelry on. That's okay, that's fine, I'll put some on later. Speed lightning, Renee, speed lightning. So work life and balance has also been pretty hectic because I got put back on graveyard shifts, which, oh my god, which is a whole issue within itself. Basically what happened is that there's 2 graveyard people. Actually there's 3 in my department, and 2 of them had quit in 2 weeks. Actually, so it's one had put in their last day as July 1st, and then the other person had put their 2 weeks in where it lined up the week prior to July 1st, was their end dates. So they were
she's training graveyard,
let's put her back in graveyard, and I was like, no, we're not doing that to me, no. And they're just is there anything we can do for you to want to go? And I was like, more money. Which was a battle within itself to get that, because it's I was told, yes, you can have this if you go after the overnight. And I was like, okay, cool. We call them overnights. I feel graveyard is the most common term, but they're called overnights just because it sounds more professional than graveyard, and not someone's dying. And in the hospitality industry, you know, we don't want to use people dying, because that definitely does happen. It's a rarity, but it definitely does happen, and that's why there's Bibles in every hotel room. So what was I saying? Yeah, so they told me I had asked for a raise, an hourly raise, because I was I don't want to go back. I have had 4 months of sleeping like a normal human being. I honestly don't, like, I don't want to do this, but I'll do it to help you out if you help me out. And they were like, yes, we'll do this. And I was like, okay, can you provide like documentation for me, because I want this on document so they don't try to like do me dirty. And of course, like, the manager is like horrible, and she just kept like saying, you have my word, you have my word, you have my word. And it kept changing of like what the conditions were, and I'm like, that is not what I said. Like, to like basically that I only have the raise when I'm training people, but there was nights that I wasn't training people. And it's like, no, I did not come down to like the overnight so you can like put conditions after you had already like initially told me yes. And then like I kept asking for like proof and paperwork, and I kept getting like, you have my word. The first paycheck comes out and like nothing's on there, and I was like, oh, I'm going straight to HR. It's which is what I should have done like at the beginning. But you know, I had trusted like the good graces of like the director slash manager of my department, and you know, HR like literally solved it in a day, and we're like, yes, you're gonna get paid this the entire time regardless, and then we'll put like the difference on your next paycheck, which is actually tomorrow, so it better be a big paycheck or we're gonna have a problem. I already said like I'm gonna steal a printer from work if like for some reason they don't come through again, because printer and printer ink, because I said, oh, that would make up for like what I was supposed to be owed like the entire time or whatever. So we shall see. But yeah, I was just like, why did it have to be like such a freaking battle, you know? People would just like, anyways, so that's that. I've been back on doing graveyards, so it's actually been a little bit harder for me to like record videos because like my schedule is flipped all over again. And I'm using Rosé from the Lorac Pro 2 palette on my eyelids because we love her. I'm just like tired all the time, and like as soon as I get home I fall asleep. Sorry, I was just completely covering the camera. As soon as I get home, like I fall asleep. By the time I wake up, like the sun's already going down and I'm not in the mood to film. So I've been recording a lot like on my days off. Like a lot of what you've been seeing is super pre-recorded, and it kind of messes up with like my plans that I want to super pre-record on top of that because of college. Just because I want to have like an adjustment period and you know, feel the vibe for like whoever I'm going to be living with, because if for whatever reason like the vibe just doesn't jive that made so much, that was rhyme. If the vibe doesn't jive, if for whatever reason like that doesn't, I'm just going to make my videos at my boyfriend's place, who's going to be living an hour away, just, you know, to film in peace and still do YouTube videos, which is what I really love doing. It's just like my hobby now. I really need to like start pre-recording all of that stuff because time comes faster than you think it does, which is crazy. What a concept. So yeah, that's been my life. So I only have 3 more weeks left, and tomorrow actually is my orientation. I just pinched myself, but like I'm so tired I didn't even flinch or like feel the pain because my what is it, like my nerves and all of that stuff, they're like always half asleep, truthfully. I don't even know if I want to like super edit this, just because it's just coming out as it comes. And I'm gonna get to the Q&A portion like in a hot second to like finish it out, since I'm already like finishing up my mascara portion. And then I always feel like eyes take the longest for me. Everyone's like, oh my god, are you excited for college? And I'm like, not really. Like, it doesn't really feel like it yet. I have my orientation tomorrow, which is super late, and I actually get to pick my classes tomorrow. So maybe once I'm on campus, it'll feel a little bit like the time is coming, but I'm not very excited about it, just because I'm not excited to like stop working and to be like a broke college student, like truthfully. Like I've been working full-time for the last 1.5 years, and I've been working for like the last, since I got out of high school. Yeah, because those are years, you know. So to not be working at all, like, oof, I don't know how am I gonna do it, because your girl always like comes into like something where she needs to like spend money, and I'm not saying like shopping wise, but like something always is bound to happen. So that's gonna be interesting, truthfully. And I'm not working because it's like for the best, like for my grades. Like the worst thing that you can do in college is, like, in my opinion, is be invested in something like work, and then like at a university level where you're like paying like thousands of dollars to be there. I think the worst thing you can do is, you know, not focus all of your attention on school to do the best that you can do. And I'm not going to be taking like la-di-da classes. Like, this is all like difficult classes that you need to spend like a lot of time on, and it's like I'm not going into like debt to not do amazing in these classes. So we'll see what I'll do. Hopefully YouTube revenue gets a little more consistent, but you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'll just be poor and accept it. I mean, I will be, but it is what it is, honestly. Guess what we're using today? I need to update you guys on that, which is exciting. I need to do that, but I'm gonna do that when I get back, just because I haven't had time to do a sit down video, because the last like week and a half I've been packing like my entire room like crazy. When I'm leaving today to go do my school orientation, and I'm mixing a little bit of that with my It's CC cream because your girl's pale, or she's starting to get a tan. I know it's not that apparent in my face or in the camera, but I am starting to get a little bit of a tan, but not that much to use it on its own. I'm just gonna use this to put this on my face. So my grandparents today are going to my parents' house in Arizona. And they were just kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but they were just, our original plan between my parents and I was that they were gonna come out like after I was done with work. Like, we like rented a truck and everything to bring everything over, and then my grandma found out about it. Like, my mom had told her, and she was like, no, like they don't need to be spending money on a truck, like cancel it, or like whatever, like we're gonna take your things. Which, like, now that I've had time to let it sit, like in theory, like, or like the concept of it was like, oh, like that's really nice that like you want to help us out and stuff, but like the way that it was executed was like, no, this is what I want to do, so we're gonna do it, so you need to figure out like how to cancel your stuff because we're gonna do what I want to do. And it's like, that was kind of stressful. That is why I've been packing my room like a mad woman. I feel like I haven't had time to like you know, record videos, because that was definitely more priority, because I had to like clear out my desk. And ooh, this is not looking good. Like, I did not realize this was happening. Okay, I totally lost track of like what I was saying because my boyfriend called me. So I think I left off on like that I was packing like a crazy woman. Anyways, I've been having trouble with my foundation lately where it's not looking so good, and I feel like it has to be this, because I'm using like a new combination of moisturizers, but of moisturizers I already have, so I'm like, it can't be that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be using. Let's get into the Q&A portion. But now after I'm back, I'll have like plenty of time to do videos. So I left a community post like about a little bit over a week ago, like answering your guys' questions. So I didn't have that many questions. I had like 8 people comment questions, and that's perfectly okay. I just am really glad that like I was able to do this, that people were interested in some things that I had to say, that I was able to give a little bit of a life update, because a lot of pre-recorded content is being shown right now, as well as on its way. And I'm sorry, but my life is a little hectic right now. Okay, sorry. My grandparents are like in the middle of like packing and leaving, and I had one more suitcase to go give them. So I've already blended in my concealer so it didn't look like a crazy person. So first question from Hannah. I'm gonna be just saying first names. What is one of your irrational fears? Irrational fears that like don't make sense at all. I'd probably have to say like my fear of spiders. Like dead bodies, bodily fluids, totally okay with. Spiders? Oh heck no, I don't mess with spiders. I don't like spiders. It freaks me out, which is so weird, but that's just it. I'm also gonna be adding my last coat of mascara. So I did the CoverGirl Clump Crusher first. This is I accidentally picked it up in black brown, which is fine, but one's like lengthening and this is like volumizing, and it's cheaper than getting my Lancome Monsieur Big. So I've been doing this combination and I don't know how I feel about it. At first I didn't feel like it was the same as the Lancome one, but now that it's like had time to like do its thing, I think it's compatible, and then it's a lot easier to get off surprisingly, as well as obviously like being better on my bank account. Hannah also asked pancakes or waffles, and waffles 100% of the way. I'm just like, ugh, like pancakes, I just feel like you can really, like unless it's like a specialty pancake, like I just feel like regular pancakes is so hard for like certain restaurants to do. Like some restaurants will do it right, and then other restaurants will like mess it up. The only waffles that I can't do are like continental breakfast waffles, because I think those are really gross. But like, oh, I just love waffles, and I would pick waffles any day. I would do waffles, then French toast, then pancakes. I mean, I don't have anything against pancakes, but I just prefer waffles. Alright. Felicia asked, how did you and your boyfriend meet? So we met in high school, and we actually met through like one of the extracurricular activities. So we were both in show choir. I was actually like a performer, and he started off as a tech, eventually like did performing. But if you don't know what show choir is, it's just like competitive singing and dancing. So I know people are like, oh, she was in choir. I was also on dance team. So if you combine like choir and dance team, and like if they were to have a baby, you get show choir, truthfully. And we didn't start dating until after I was out of high school, so I'm actually like 2 years older than him, which everyone always tries to say like, oh my god, you are a cougar, and I'm like, you know what, I just shut up. And you know, as like time goes on, like out of high school, like that stuff like doesn't really matter. Like once you go into like your adult life, it doesn't matter. Like you'll never get like flack from it, like fresh out of high school or in high school. But like we've worked out great. In November it's actually our 4-year anniversary, so yeah, even though it's like been long distance, and I could do a completely separate video on that, we've been great, and we are still going very strong. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Like in regards to that, we met in high school, and ever since then we've been together. I'm not wearing my promise ring, or like, yeah, because you know I'm doing my makeup. Anaya, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Anaya asks me, what is your biggest pet peeve? Oh wow, I have a couple. I don't know what my biggest one would be. I think my biggest pet peeve is listening to people chew, and like chew wet food. Like I can listen to people eat, because like if you're eating a salad, like that's gonna be crunchy as heck. But if like I can hear you like, oh my god, that just sends chills down my spine. And I'm very like self-conscious of it as well, so like I like try to like chew so you can't hear those noises, just because I don't like it. My brother, one of my brothers, like you can hear him chew from like one side of the room to like if it's an open concept, like my ear will pick it up and like will pick his hearing, and like I'm just like, stop, eat like a normal person. So yeah, that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves. But you know, I know people can't help it, but you know, you can't help your pet peeves either. All right, Marissa asks, what were your most frequently bought scents when you worked at Bath and Body Works? Winter Candy Apple. No. In regards, yeah, so Winter Candy Apple for sure when it came to like body care. Oh god, that was so long ago. Winter Candy Apple. Oh god, what else? Winter Candy Apple, and I know I just said it like 5 times. Winter Candy Apple. Winter Candy Apple in the like body care. Marshmallow Fireside in Home Fragrance, or Tiki Beach in Home Fragrance, and then for soaps probably I would say like Fiji White Sands. Like that was my favorite hand soap. So those are like my top scents in like every category that I would constantly repurchase. So yeah, I miss those days, but my bank account doesn't miss those days, and that's fine. I still have plenty of things left, and I'm still buying like, you know, enough. It's definitely not like what I used to buy, but it's enough. Jay asks, what am I majoring in college? I am a biology major. I am working to get my BS in bio. Now, what do I want to do with it? I definitely, and this is just like, I don't know if it has to do with like the way that I grew up or like my culture, but honestly, like, or just like the people around me, like education was never like college education, and that's just the way that things are, honestly. Everyone's raised differently, so just go with whatever take what I'm about to say with like a grain of salt. So education was never like, bigger education was never pushed on any of us, neither like my siblings, not really like my cousins, and not really like my aunts or my mom. Like some of them did go to college, some of them didn't, but it was never like you have to go to college, blah 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 blah. That's the only way you're gonna get a job, like blah 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 blah. Like it wasn't. I don't know if it's because a lot of them, and I as well, like for most of our lives, like we've grown up in Mexico, / some of them are still growing up in Mexico, and you know, times are changing obviously everywhere, but I felt like, at least in my childhood, I felt like the most important thing was like family, like getting married and having kids, and I felt like that was probably before college, and that's why like my parents never really pushed it. They just wanted me to be like happy and like find a man and be happy, and like obviously like I think they would have wanted me like to go to college, but it definitely was never forced. So just like a little bit of more insight about my life. So I don't plan on, like as of right now, I honestly don't plan on going further than my bachelor's, just because, you know, school's not for everyone, and it's like, because it was never pushed upon, I never would have say like, oh, like I wouldn't say it's my passion or anything. But I'm happy with the options I can do with just a bachelor's in bio. I mean, who knows, maybe one day I'll be like, no, I want to go the extra step further, but I don't see that in the books right now, especially with taking like student loans out and blah blah blah. And again, I'm happy with the choices that I can do with just a bachelor's in science, just a regular bio bachelor's, and you know, that's that. What is your most used Bath and Body product? Heather asked. And hey Heather, it's always good. I always love seeing her comments. Like, she has like a little, I want to say it's like a Canadian maple leaf leaf. And every time I see her comment and I see that, I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. So what is my most used? I would probably have to say like the lotion or like the shower gel. Those are probably really like my most used products, because when it comes to like fine fragrance mist, like sometimes I'll use like other things. I'm not always burning candles, and I have like more than just Bath and Body Works candles. So I would have to say like the lotion and the shower gel, like without a doubt, has always technically been like Bath and Body Works ever since I started working there. Are you going to make videos about your move? I'm trying. It's a little bit hard because, you know, like I mentioned earlier in this video, like time crunches happened, but I have been filming a big chunk of like the decluttering portion, and I'm going to try to do like my move to Arizona and like document that, as well as from Arizona moving into college, like my move-in day and all of that stuff. That's like been like my guilty pleasure watching at work on my graveyards, is like college move-in videos, although all of them are freshman college move-in videos, and I'm not gonna be a freshman. I'm technically a transfer student, so it's a little different because I probably won't be living in a dorm unless, you know, whatever happens. But I actually don't know like my room assignment yet, so yeah. What is your favorite season? Well, I lived in California for half of my life, and then the other half I lived in a desert, which there's not very many seasons. So I would have to say, I felt like if I would lived in like the East Coast or in a place that had fall, I would love fall, but because it's always been like summer part 2 everywhere I've lived, as of now, like it's just been summer, winter, kind of a spring. So I'd have to say that spring is probably my favorite season, just because here it's like cold enough to wear like sweaters, and like some days are good days, some days are misty days, and I honestly like love the rain. I love like the darkness, I love cold. So I would have to say as of now spring, but if I ever lived like anywhere that had like seasons, I would have to say like fall. Like ideally, I love the idea of fall. I love fall colors. I feel like that fits my theme the most. Sweaters, yes, all sweaters all the way. But winter can be too cold sometimes, truthfully. So I think spring is probably like perfect. So yeah, those are all the questions. Thank you guys so much for asking them. I definitely appreciate. I've been trying to like, this is supposed to be like so quick, but you know, when you start talking, like stuff happens. But I think I'm pretty much done with my makeup. Just like, you know, nothing major is happening today. Like we're gonna be moving stuff and driving up, so I definitely like overdid it with the makeup right now, but you know, that's okay. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry this took a while to like upload. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions for a future Get Ready With Me, definitely let me know down below, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.